Hey, hey, hey! Welcome out, everybody. It's Friday night. It's wonderful. We're all having a good time. The weekend is here, and that must mean you guys are tuned in to Merlo's Movie Massacre. Again. Actually, it's been a bit. It's been about, 10, 11 days. So I see we got Hilly Billy Man in the chat already. Usually it's Susie Lopez in the chat first. You beat her out tonight. How are you doing, Hilly Billy Man? He says hello, so I'm saying hello back. Hope you guys are all having a wonderful week and looking forward to a wonderful weekend because that's important. We need to have good weekends, right? Michelle Apollonia's in the chat as well. Hey, how you doing? Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for stopping by. You know it's so much appreciated, guys. Speaking of Michelle, we all know that Michelle has, unless there's new people in the chat, which there could be, Feltrick Fence is in the chat as well. You're fairly new. I think this is your second time in the chat, so that's good. But if you missed it last time, Michelle, who you see in the chat, has a little company called Breathless Beauties. I like to give her a little plug on my show. She makes these horror-themed dolls. I'll just show you a sample here, what she does. So her company is Breathless Beauties. Her links are in the description. Does awesome work. I absolutely love them. I have one hanging on my wall. Well, not hanging on my wall, but you can kind of see it in the background. I'll show you if you can see. I don't know. You probably won't be able to see it because it's so far back. But, it's not even quite. You might be able to see it in the very corner. But probably not. That's what happens when you do this show live. You realize, you didn't quite frame it the same as you want. Yeah. And when you do it with your cell phone as a camera too, which is just better than my webcam. So that's I need a new camera. You guys want to pay for my new camera? Just kidding, guys. Just kidding, of course. Chris Keene is also in the chat. I think this is your second time as well. So thank you for tuning in. So, if you're new here, please remember to hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, all that wonderful stuff. I really appreciate the support. It means a lot to me. And actually, you know what? You guys have really come through for me because, on the last show, I was saying we were only 17 subscribers away from getting to 900, and it would be our goal to get to 900 before the Sawyer Massacre Indiegogo campaign. And guess what? We've not only hit 900, we're at 907 now. So in less than 2 weeks, because that was like 10 or 11 days ago, went from, it's 907, so what is that? 24 new subscribers to this channel since the last show. That is awesome, guys. I don't know if you guys are just really sharing the heck out of this thing or what. Or maybe you guys are just really stoked about the Sawyer Massacre, and I've been spreading the word. I don't know what's working, but it's working, and I'm really happy about that. So we're just 93 subscribers away from 1,000. That'll be a big milestone for this channel, and I know we'll be able to. I'm positive we'll be able to do it within that our Indiegogo campaign, which ends at the end of April. Lots of time to hit that for sure. So. Very much appreciated. Michelle says, thank you for the plugs. Yeah, no problem, Michelle. As always, I like to plug you. I'll plug any horror-themed artist out there if you do like horror paintings or if you're a horror filmmaker like me, I'll plug you as well. And speaking of which, a couple of horror fan filmmakers like myself are also making fan films. One of them is making a Halloween fan film. I gave him a plug last week on the show too, but I actually got links in the description. And links in the description for Michelle too. Her Facebook and Instagram links are in the description as well. Susie Lopez is in the chat. But James Grimm and Braden Timmons are both making horror fan films. And they've both got Indiegogo campaigns launched. And you guys can check those out. Links again in the description. They both have some pretty cool trailers that you can watch online as well. So Braden's is a Halloween fan film called The Haddonfield Nightmare. I believe it's a sequel to H2O, from what I've heard online. So if any of you are fans of H2O, you'll see where it shows up in my rank. Well, I won't spoil the surprise, but if you're fans of H2O, it's a sequel to that. Basically, it's a sequel to H2O. Hopefully, it has a better mask. You know. And James just started his second Indiegogo campaign for My Special Boy, Friday the 13th fan film. Hearing him talk about it, My Special Boy, I believe it's actually a sequel to the very first one. So it's like Friday the 13th Part 2, and all those never really existed, but it's kind of in that same realm. We get to see the return of Sackhead Jason, which we last saw in Friday the 13th Part 2, if I remember correctly. Maybe he was a little bit in Part 3. It's been a long time since I've seen those films, but so correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, so you get a mix of both Sackhead Jason and the classic hockey mask zombie Jason. If you're into those kinds of, if you're into that, and they have huge fan bases. Both of those are part of the big three. I'm more of a Halloween guy than a Friday the 13th guy, but you know, they're both great. So yeah, links are in the description. If you want to support them, if you want to see these films get made, definitely go check them out, because they can't get made without your support. As with the Sawyer Massacre, it won't get made without your support. Mind you, we'll make it in Canada, but I want to make it in Texas. I worked my ass off to get footage from Texas in this new teaser, so which was not easy. It was not easy, but that's how much Texas means to me. Stephanie Diaz is in the chat, and Hannah West. I think you're new in the chat. I don't think we've had you before. Thank you all for joining the chat. Again, if you're just tuning in for the first time, please do remember to hit that like and subscribe button in this area somewhere, right there. Ish. I'm like, you can tell this is live. And Amanda Wallach is in the chat as well. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for stopping by. And like I said again, hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't already. But I'm sure you all have, But we're on our way to 1,000, and we're going to have a big giveaway during the Indiegogo campaign if we hit 1,000 during that campaign. And I know we can do it. We're still more than a week away from the campaign itself, so I have no doubt. Stephanie Diaz, I'm so happy I made it tonight. I'm glad you did too. This is a pretty cool one to be a part of too. It's I promise I was going to do it last week, and then I decided not to because a little bit of news kind of dropped for the new Texas Chainsaw Massacre film that's supposedly coming out this year. Supposedly, it wasn't really news that was dropped. It was just kind of an update to IMDb, but I felt like it should have been news. But I guess they didn't feel like it was worth it. Anyway, you can watch that video and check all that out. Plus, I had so much behind the scenes photos I wanted to share from our trailer shoot from both Texas and here in Canada, in Western Canada. So there was just so many cool BTS to show you guys. So really, really wanted to do that. And I've posted some on Instagram already. I'll keep posting all that stuff on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. All those links are in the description as well for the Sawyer Massacre's Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We have all of them, so you know where to find us. But I think I found most of you people from Instagram. Instagram's been good for that. There you go. And I love having you all part of my stream. So without further ado, we're going to get into this ranking. So just keep in mind, this is my personal ranking of the movies, and I'll kind of give you a little rating on each one as well, just because why not? And I'll get into little explanations on all of these films and what I liked and what I didn't like about them and blah blah blah. There's a couple, there's a few in here you'll see that are more or less ties, but I flipped a coin and it's like I chose that one over that, but for the most part this is my ranking. Feel free to share yours. I don't think there's going to be any massive surprises on my list. I don't think there's going to be a film really high up that you're going to be like, whoa, you really like that one, huh? I don't think so. One of them it's like a 50-50, but we'll see. But if you've tuned into my channel before, you kind of might know my thoughts on a lot of these films, as I've talked about a lot of the Halloween films before. I don't just talk about Texas Chainsaw Massacre on this channel. I talk horror. And in some of the earlier videos, I've even dived out of horror a bit. It's all good. Anyways, where was I going with this? Anyways, you guys share your rankings. Again, it's all opinions, but I'll give you little reasons for all of my different rankings and so on and so forth. So coming in last place for me, and I don't think this will be a huge surprise for people. But you know, some people liked it. I know it has its fan base. It wasn't for me. And that was Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 from 2009. I gotta say, this is a cool poster, though. That's one redeeming quality this movie had for me. Was, hey, it's kind of a cool poster. Yeah, I couldn't believe how bad I thought. It was a one-time watch, and it couldn't end fast enough. Although I will say, like, the opening scene made me think it was really going to be like a remake of Halloween 2. Like, it was actually going to kind of copy that same premise, but it didn't. And that was where it really started to just totally disappoint me. And if I was to rate this film, well, I'll get into my rating in a bit. Even some of the good actors that were in this film, and we're talking like Brad Dourif, Malcolm McDowell, these are actors I do enjoy most of their work, but they looked bad in this film. And it's funny because I hear people say they liked Brad Dourif's performance when Annie gets killed. And I don't know. I don't agree. I'm not feeling it from him. I do think, though, I don't really blame them too much. Actually, I liked Brad Dourif liked him more in the first Halloween that Rob Zombie did. He was pretty good in the first Rob Zombie Halloween, but the second, no, I can't get behind it. Maybe worth a rewatch. It has been about 8 years since I've seen it. But I just really don't ever want to watch this movie ever again. I was so disappointed when I saw it that it's like, no, why did I watch that? All that weird stuff with the horse it really did feel shoehorned in just as an excuse to get his wife in, who's a terrible actress, by the way, in my opinion, guys. I know some people love her, but I think she's awful. And what else bad? I mean, Michael's the mask that all torn apart. Didn't like it. No, didn't work for me. The violence was so much about being violent and not there was no real substance behind it. It was about, let's show you how gory we can be. And I didn't feel anything for any of these people. Oh, hey, we got Chris Snyder in the chat. So at least that's the way I felt about this one. Halloween 2, 2009. It's and Good Real Hunting's in the chat as well. I didn't even notice that. Oh, there you go. The Brett Man. I know it's the Brett Man because it always says Brad if it's not. So I know it's the Brett Man. Thank you guys for tuning in. And yes, that's all I can really say about it. Was there anything redeeming about Halloween 2, 2009 for me? The beginning was intense. I thought that was pretty good. And I kind of wish it kind of went along that. I wish they built off of that rather than just had it the way they did. But it was a choice that they made. It was the choice that it was where Rob Zombie wanted to take it, and I just don't agree with it. It's not, Rob Zombie's really not my kind of horror filmmaker. Not for me. And being a Texas Chainsaw Massacre guy, I hear it all the time. Rob Zombie should make a Texas Chainsaw Massacre film, and I'm like, no, don't do that. I know he's got a lot of influence from Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but no. Please do not. Please do not let that happen. But, this is my thoughts, guys. I'm sure a lot of people love Rob Zombie, and probably a lot of people like that film. Maybe even in the chat. Say it in the chat if Rob Zombie's 2009 Halloween is okay with you. And that's cool if it is. It's just really not for me. It's just, it is subjective, guys, but it's not for me. I like Rob Zombie, but I didn't like his take on Halloween. Okay. There you go. Stephanie Diaz says that. I'm a fan of Halloween 2. Chris Snyder likes it. Took me a long time to turn around on it, but I did a few years back. Oh, well, you've beat me. I have yet to go back and even rewatch it. It once was just too much for me. Hilly Billy Man, I'm surprised we never got Halloween 3D by Rob Zombie. I heard rumors of that for years. I think it was basically an unpopularity thing though. Because his Halloween 2 was so hated. But I'm not in the minority here, guys. It's one that I'm really not in the minority. But I do know that there are some passionate fans that love it. And hey, Chris Snyder says he likes it. I hate it. It might actually be my worst horror film ever. Probably. It probably would. I'd probably give it about a 1.5 out of 10. And that's only because the beginning was as good as it was. But that's just me. Brett Man likes Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 as well. Yeah, there you go. It's for some people. It's not for everybody. Amanda wasn't my favorite either. There you go. Heather, I enjoyed them, but understand furthermore. Yeah, okay, so she's more to that side. And I think, hey, you just joined, didn't you, Heather? I was on Heather's show not too long ago. Hannah West, I need to rewatch. Haven't seen it in years. Yeah, I haven't seen it in years either, but I remember the way I felt after watching that movie. I just remember the way I felt. It's like, well, that's the 4th Rob Zombie movie I've seen, and that's 4 too many. That was my reaction. And this one put the icing on the cake. I haven't watched a Rob Zombie film since then, and that was back in 2011, I think maybe 2012. Usually pretty good at knowing my years of when I saw stuff. I think it was late 2011. So nearly 10 years ago was the last time I saw that, and I haven't watched a Rob Zombie film ever since. And I'm going to be honest, guys. I'm one of those guys that I really do try to not watch movies I think I'm going to hate, because I'm one of those guys that feels life is too short to watch movies you're not going to like. And that was definitely one of them. I watched Midsommar. Kind of wish I didn't see that movie. It was really boring, and the gore was just there, and it just it felt unnecessary. I kind of get the point of the movie, but I didn't feel like it needed to be that deep for such a... Anyways, that's getting off topic. But needless to say, I didn't really like that movie either. Even though I do appreciate the artistic nature of it. Anyways, moving on to my second least favorite Halloween film. Bear with me, guys. Sorry if I'm dragging this on. This will probably be no surprise for anybody. In fact, a lot of people probably have this last on their list, but for me, it's second last. It's close between the two, and that's Halloween Resurrection from 2002. This movie is a train wreck. It's wow, what a crappy movie. Is there anyone in the chat that likes this movie too? Talk about a movie that tried to follow all the trends, and I don't know. uh, Good Real Hunting. Since you said Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 is one of the worst, have you seen I'll Always Know What You Did Last Summer? That one is a tough watch. If it's the third one in this series, I have not. I watched the first two in the I Know What You Did Last Summer series, Brett, and that was enough for me. I really didn't. It's not. Those aren't my kind of horror movies. I think even like the Scream movies. They seem very generic to me. I like stuff that thinks a little bit more out of the box, a little bit more psychological, and they just they're not. I didn't hate. I didn't hate the first one. I can't say I hated the second. I Know What You Did Last. I Still Know What You Did Last Summer. That was what that one was called. I didn't hate it, but I really didn't like it. I felt no need to go see another one after that. So, anyways, again, getting off topic. Probably came out around the same time. I think, yeah, I imagine they came out the same time. This was 2002 that Halloween Resurrection came out. But the terrible dialogue, the classic Busta Rhymes, trick or treat, motherfucker, trick or treat, motherfucker, Why do these movies insist on casting rappers in their films? I guess they liked LL Cool J and H2O, which he wasn't H2O, right? I'm thinking of the right movie. He's better than Busta Rhymes was, but honestly, I don't know. I guess it was appealing to that audience at that time. But again, it was one of the things I really hated about Texas Chainsaw 3D was this Trey Songz was just terrible in that movie. Don't cast these people. They can't act. Anyways, that's my opinion. So yeah, it's a terrible movie. Yeah, Jamie Lee Curtis was wasted in that film. Just a terrible way. It might even be worse than, I won't even get into that. the continuation of Halloween 5 from Halloween 4. I think it is. That this continuation of Resurrection from H2O is worse than that even. So that's saying a lot. Yeah. That's all I'm going to say about Resurrection. Another one-time watch for me, folks. This was a one-time watch. Even longer. This was probably 16 years ago the last time I saw it. That's how much I didn't like it. So yeah, the Halloween franchise is very, very polarizing for me, guys. I hate these ones. Like this one's probably about a 2 out of 10 for me, and Rob Zombie's about a 1.5 out of 10. So these ones I really hate, but the ones I love are like way up there. So it's very polarizing for sure. Moving along. Anybody else have any? Is there anybody in the chat that likes Resurrection? And again, it's okay if you do. This is not a place. This is not a place that we're gonna criticize you for liking it. It's just sometimes these things can be appealing, even if it's just for like it felt fun to you or something like that, right? So I always can get that aspect. I didn't find it fun though. I found it very generic, but some people will, and that's cool. So let's see what you guys are saying in the chat here just a little bit. I prefer Resurrection or I'll over. I think Brett's meaning to say I prefer Resurrection over. I'll Always Know What You Did Last Summer. I think so. Probably. Again, I haven't seen the third one. I think that's what that is too. So anybody in here though can actually say they like Resurrection. I'm not seeing anybody actually say that. But let me know. I'm not here to try to hurt anyone's feelings. Again, at the end of the day, it's all subjective, but the vast majority of people, I think, don't like Resurrection or Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. I just hate Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 more. but I hate these both. I'll never come back. I don't think I'll ever come back to either of them. I mean, people will say, "Oh, you should come back to it. You should come back to it." Life's too short. Life's too short. With you on this one. Resurrection sucks. Yeah. So that is my second least favorite. And this is probably the last one I can say I hate. And that would be Rob Zombie's first Halloween. Yeah, I don't like this one at all. Actually saw this one in theaters. This was the only one I saw in theaters, and I saw it in theaters because my buddy bought the ticket for me. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't have even actually seen this one in theaters. Probably not. But you know what? I was debating it at the time because I thought, okay, I didn't like House of a Thousand Corpses that much, but I saw potential from Rob Zombie from that movie. I don't think I had seen Devil's Rejects at that point. I'm pretty sure I hadn't. I saw Devil's Rejects after, and I didn't like that movie either. But I'm sorry if I sound like I'm just absolutely hating on Rob Zombie here, guys. But his style is just not mine. It's just not for me. It really isn't. Yeah. I'm a mood and atmosphere guy like Dave McRae. Let's just say that. And I just don't get any of that from Rob Zombie's style. It's very stylistic. It's I don't know. It's yeah, hard to explain. It's not my style, that's for sure. So I don't like the backstory for Michael Myers. Needless to say that. I can understand why some people do. I don't. I just think that when you go into origin stories, it actually ruins the character a bit. For a villain, anyways, to give little hints of stuff away about a horror villain, that sure, I can see that, but to really tell the story of why this villain became a villain, if you're trying to make that villain scary, I just find that it totally ruins that. And it ruined that for me. I didn't find Michael scary at all in this movie. Just found him violent, and again, the violence came from the kids at school picking on him, his white trash family, and blah blah blah. This and okay. I didn't need it. And here's another thing that kind of annoyed me. At least as far as I remember when I saw it in theaters, is that Rob Zombie did certain scenes pretty much identical to the original film, certain scenes, but they were like the throwaway scenes. He's like he decided to copy and paste pretty much the throwaway scenes, Tommy talking to Jamie Laurie talking to Tommy on the way to school, dropping by the Myers house, and their dialogue is like exactly the same. But the actual moment of the shape coming into the door is not the same. It's I don't know. It's I think you want to capitalize on the good parts, not the not so good parts. But that was my beef with it. But the suspense wasn't there. But I get you can't copy the original, but that's why you probably shouldn't try to remake a movie like Halloween, because trying to get that suspense right, it's hard, man. Movies like Halloween and Black Christmas, I don't think can really be remade, or at least shouldn't be, but they have been. So, just because you're just never gonna capture those types of moments, that lightning in the bottle again. You can try to, but I don't even feel like Rob Zombie even tried to with his films. Personally, I don't feel like he did. But he made the films the way he wanted to, and respect him for making his films. It's we all have our own style, and it's all good. I'm actually not even a fan of Rob Zombie's music. I like some of the old White Zombie stuff, but his solo stuff I couldn't get into at all. Not for me. Yeah, that's just me though. I know people love his stuff. I just remember when his solo stuff just kind of hit. I'm like, so this is what he did after White Zombie, huh? Well, Dragula was a big hit back in '99 or something like that. And I'm like, I don't like it. But you know, a lot of people loved it. I was in the minority there. Whatever. Anyways, I can't be mucking on too much. These are probably the only ones I really hate. I'd probably give this one maybe a 3 out of 10. Maybe. Rob Zombie's Halloween, 3 out of 10. Yeah. What are you guys saying in the chat? Does anybody in the chat like this one? Let's just see. The first one was better than the second one, says Mandy Cantone. Okay. Yeah, I can agree it's better. Not saying a lot, though, but anyways, but still not a fan of it. So you kind of feel the same way as me a little bit. Hilly Billy Man, yeah, first one was definitely better. Stephanie Diaz, that's not my type of music. Well, you know. Hey, we all have different types of music, too. And, you know, I like a little of all types of music. But Rob Zombie's solo stuff I like the White Zombie. I don't like the Rob Zombie stuff. And even White Zombie, it was good music with a shitty singer, in my opinion. I think Rob Zombie is a shitty singer, guys. But the bassist, Sonia Salt, I think I'm pronouncing her name right. Anyways, she's awesome. I dig her a lot. I heard that she was really sort of more the mastermind behind the music in White Zombie, but you know, it was a band effort though too. Where were we? Oh yes, Chris Keane. Could he be paying homage to the original? He probably was when he's copying those scenes. I think that's what you're talking about here, is the scenes that he pretty much did exactly. I just wish he would have paid homage with the good scenes, not so much the throwaway scenes, you know, the throwaway shots, the shots I didn't care about, you know. I would have liked to have seen, personally, one of my favorite things from the parts of the original, and I'll go on it more. I'll talk about it more when we talk about the original, is the scene where Laurie walks to the other house, and it's this, you know, you've got that music, that awesome John Carpenter score, and it's, you know, leads to the discovery of the bodies. That was not existent. It was just all of a sudden she's there, and there's Annie lying on the floor screaming, and you thought she is already dead. I guess she wasn't, because she's in the next one. But anyways, so yeah. That's all I got to say about that one, guys. I don't want to drag on too much. Like I said, it's probably about a 3 out of 10 for me. Yeah, I'll give it about a 3. At least all these next ones I can say I don't like them, but I don't hate them either. Yeah, I don't like them, but I don't. These are the I don't like them, but I don't hate them. I'm done with all the hate now. I like to get the hate over with. So at least I'm not going to be totally hating on them, but there's definitely things about these movies that I think are pretty flawed. Next one on my list is H2O. This is one of those coin toss. This one, you know, would be almost a coin toss with the next one on my list. I chose this one. I probably chose this one because of how bad the mask was with the. And this was the first film, I think, where Michael Myers' eyes were not blacked out. And there's a CGI mask going on that looked terrible and all that stuff. And I don't know. It was the return of Jamie Lee Curtis, though. You know, I dug that. But no, ultimately, I mean, I have a hard time watching this film. I have seen this one more than once, so maybe I've seen it 3 times. It's one of those movies. If it comes on, I'll watch it. See if it grows on me. You know, there's definitely times I think it might grow on me. Hey, Joe from Fangoria Faithful is in the chat as well. Hey, I want to give a big shout out to Joe here, because you know what? He's done some amazing work for me lately. with the Sawyer Massacre. You'll see. I shared a little bit of what he did as far as he designed a logo, which I think is awesome, by the way. So if you go onto the Instagram page, you can see some bit of artwork we did with his logo. Yeah, check that out because it's pretty awesome, and lots more to come. I love the logo. I love he's created a new poster, 2 new posters, maybe a third. Joe, is there going to be a third? We'll see, and they'll all be available on the Indiegogo. He rocks. That's all I can say. Joe's an awesome guy. So big shout out to Joe. Thank you for tuning in. How are you doing? TGIF, LOL. Yeah, there you go. I'm actually starting to feel like it's too hot in here for the sweater. I wore it because it's actually been kind of cold here lately. February was worse than January was here, which is surprising. We've had some like minus 20 weather, and yesterday the snow just dumped and it dumped and it dumped. It took a big dump. And speaking of which, I might have to take a big dump pretty soon as well because I had spaghetti and meatballs for dinner tonight. And that, ooh. Anyways, totally wrecking the conversation here. But that's how you know it's live. When Steve makes a fool out of himself, you know that it's that it's live. We can cut that part out, right? No. I can edit it later. No. Yeah. Chris saw the logo. Yeah, he loves it. Yes, Chris is one of many YouTubers that's doing a trailer reaction. So I've sent out the new trailer to a few other YouTubers as well to do trailer reactions. And if there's any other YouTubers on here that do trailer reactions on their channel, hey, feel free to hit me up. I will share it with you early. It's a private link, so you can't share it with anyone else. And, and you can do your trailer reaction and just don't post it until March 1st. Well, after like 12:30 on March 1st, Pacific time, that is, because I'm Pacific. That's when the Indiegogo launches. It'll launch at noon time Pacific. So yeah, if any other YouTubers that are in the chat right now, just hit me up. Just drop me a message through Messenger or Instagram, whatever, and just let me know, and I'll email it to you. Simple as that. Anyways, where were we in the chat? You guys are talking to each other. Oh, Steve, stop working. Stop. Yes, working on the 3rd. Thank you, sir. It's been fun. Can't wait to see it. Yeah, no rush on the 3rd poster too, Joe, because I think it'd be cool to kind of drop it as an extra perk somewhere in the first couple weeks of the campaign, or even the 3rd or 4th week. Who knows? So again, don't rush it. Let's aim for perfection. That's what I can say. But yeah, I love the new logo. I wasn't sure if I liked it at first, and then the more I saw it, I was like, yeah, this thing kicks ass. And then when anyways, I won't go too much into it, but because we got to stay on topic here. We're talking about the Halloween franchise. We can save time at the end for questions or talk a bit about that, because pretty excited for it. We've been working pretty hard over the last couple weeks, which is why we had a little bit of a lull here with the show. That's why it's been about 10, 11 days since the last live stream. But we're pretty ahead now. We've got the trailer ready. The campaign's everything's pretty much locked, pretty much. So we're excited. We're ready for it. We are ready for it. Anyways. Anything else I can say about H2O? Again, it's just I didn't really care for LL Cool J in it, but I didn't hate him as much as I didn't hate him like Busta Rhymes in Resurrection. A lot of the actors in Resurrection were not very good, if I'm being honest. But you had some other good actors. You had more redeeming actors in H2O for sure. You had Josh Hart in it, and Jamie Lee Curtis, of course. Was it? I'm bad with names all of a sudden. The one that Heath Ledger was married to, Michelle Williams. Am I right? Somebody like that. You guys can put it in the chat. I'm blanking on names all of a sudden. I might be right on that. I might not be. Michelle somebody. Not Michelle Trachtenberg, that's for sure. Anyways, yeah, it's okay. I don't like it. I don't hate it either. I would probably give it a 4 out of 10, which is, I know that probably sound when you hear 4 out of 10, oh, you hated it. I'm a tough ranker though, guys. Just keep in mind I'm a tough ranker. So I didn't like it. I didn't hate it. It's kind of, I didn't like it, but but I could still watch it a couple, 2 or 3 times and not get bored from it. So it's kind of fun, but at the same time, I don't really like it. And that's kind of the same way I feel about this next film, which is Halloween 5. They're pretty much they're pretty much a coin toss for me. I don't like this movie either. I think I just gave this one the slight edge because at least Michael's eyes are black. But at the end of the day, it's I don't like the mask in this though either. It's such a weird looking mask. I don't know. But that's, the least of the movie's concerns. I mean, the fact that they took such a great twist ending at the end of the fourth one and just that's the way they played it out. I didn't like it. Great acting still from what's her name now? Danielle Harris. I think she did great considering what she had to do. Have no dialogue through the first half of the film. And, she still did a great job. And her physical acting was really good. And there were some good moments. There's definitely some good moments in this, like in the laundry chute near the end there. That was good. That was a great scene. That's probably my favorite scene in the movie, in fact. The weird kind of chase through the basement there with where it ends up being the janitor, but it's not actually. You thought it was supposed to be Michael, but it wasn't. But Tina was terrible. The actress playing Tina I didn't like, and the character was just couldn't get behind her. I wish they would have just not killed off Rachel. I feel like they did it just because they wanted to get more kills in there. I don't know. It's kill off Tina instead. Why didn't they kill off Tina at that point instead? Because Rachel, to me, if it was me making a sequel, I would have actually made it so Rachel was the protagonist of this movie. Honestly, that's what I would have done. I would have made Rachel the protagonist, and she's trying to save. Her and Loomis are trying to save Jamie from, becoming that evil that Michael obviously was. I don't know. That's something of what I would have done. I'm interested to see what Sean from Fandom Empire is going to do with his. I know his is probably set quite a few years later. I'm not sure. I don't know a lot about his movies. I think it's called. It's apparently it's a 3-parter. If anybody in the chat knows more about what Sean's, I heard him say it was a 3-parter. Haddonfield the Vanished or something. Yeah, it's very interested because I think a fan film should be made for a fan sequel to Halloween 4 is a great idea. I've said that before. I think there's somebody else doing one. I've even said to them, hey, go out and try to get Danielle Harris to be a part of your cast, She'd probably do it. I mean, if you're paying her, of course. But she'd probably say, oh, hey, I get to redeem myself after. I would personally get both Danielle Harris and Ellie Cornell, who played Rachel, to come back and redeem their characters that got ruined by the next couple movies. Anyways, that's my thoughts, though. It's too bad. But, Halloween 5 has some redeeming qualities, so it's kind of, again, it's about a 4 to 10 for me, guys. So that's next on my list. Where would you guys rank these ones? Let's see what you guys are saying in the chat. I want to keep up with you guys. Stephanie Diaz, I actually like this one. It looks great. Can't wait to see what you come. I don't know if we're talking about. I think talking about Joe there. I think so. I don't remember much about 5, honestly. Yeah, I've seen it quite a few. It was one of the first Halloween films I saw. I think it was the second Halloween film I ever saw. And that was, well, I was a little kid at that point, and I just wanted to see Michael Myers, and this was the latest one. It was always about the latest one when I was a kid. I have to see the latest one, but when you see Halloween 5 without having seen the ones that came before it, which I hadn't at that time, other than Halloween 3, which has nothing to do with it, it didn't make a lot of sense to me, and I didn't really get it. Whereas, going back and seeing the originals and all that, you get more of a taste for it. Michelle Appollonia, I thought Danielle Harris did a good job in that. Yeah, she did. She was a great young actress. She's maybe not the best in the Rob Zombie movies. Again, I think direction, though. I think a lot of that was she wasn't terrible in the Rob Zombie films, but I don't feel like she shined like she could have. But again, I just think it's poor direction. Rob Zombie as a director is just, you gotta be able to direct your actors. I'm not saying I'm better than him or anything. I'm an indie director, and I'm still learning as a director. Like, even after shooting this last trailer, it's like, ooh, I wish I told my actor to do this or do that, or like, okay, I should have. You realize that that you still got room to grow. You just got to be open to growing. Joe says, well, Chris, the third poster has been biatch. Yeah, you've told me that it's been tough. That's Chris King, you do like Halloween 5? That's cool. I'm okay with it. I wish it could have been better, but Joe says she should have got wounded surprise save at the Yeah, I don't know. I would give 5 a 7 out of 10. Really? You give it that high? Yeah, for me it's about a 4. It's same with H2O. It's about a 4. 4 to 10. Yeah, I'm a tough ranker, though. I'm tough with my rankings. Chris Snyder, I feel that if you ever want to come on our show and promote any work, that's are you talking with Joe there? That's awesome, man. See, there you go. Definitely do that, Joe. You do awesome work, and you deserve that. You deserve that, sir. There you go. Anyways, moving on. So that was Halloween 5. So we're going to move on to the next one, which is Halloween 6, The Curse of Michael Myers. Again, this one I could probably get up to about a 5 out of 10. There's definitely issues I have with it, not bringing back Danielle Harris as Jamie Lloyd and then killing Jamie Lloyd off anyways. It's just, what a useless, I don't know. But, Paul Rudd, I love Paul Rudd, guys. Just so you know, I'm not hating on Paul Rudd. I actually love him. But in this movie, no. But, I can still watch this. I can still watch Curse of Michael Myers and be like, okay. I actually kind of dug the way Michael Myers looked in this. I'm calling him Michael Myers in a lot of these movies because that's what he became. But I want to always call him the Shape or the Boogeyman. That's, to me, what he should have always been. Because that's what he was in the original. I've said it before. In the original Halloween, you never hear the name Michael Myers as a whole. You hear the name Michael at the beginning of the movie. At the beginning, you hear his dad call him Michael. You hear his sister call him Michael. But the whole name of Michael Myers is never uttered throughout the entire original Halloween. Just something, and it was about having some sort of ambiguity. He wasn't Michael Myers. He was the Shape. And that changed once Halloween 2 hit. Unfortunately, it's the way she goes. I don't know. I wish he would have always been the Boogeyman or the Shape. That's just me. We're talking about Halloween 6. What do you guys think of Halloween 6? Curse of Michael Myers. Again, this was Donald Pleasant's last film in the series. I think he did okay, but again, I wish it was a slightly better film for him to go out on. But he had a good run playing Dr. Loomis, considering where he started with the franchise, and he barely went to even do the original Halloween, and there he was in five Halloween films total. So that's pretty good. And I wonder how he would have felt with being kind of always known as Dr. Loomis, because he did so many other great roles. And I don't know. And to think that when he took the role, he wasn't too happy. But I saw him in an interview, and I think it was while they were filming Halloween, and it's like, well, I got to suck it up and deal with a movie that has things in it that I don't like, and acting in a certain way that I don't think I should be acting. I don't remember exactly what he said. I saw that interview on YouTube a while ago, and if it's still on there, look for it. It was kind of interesting. But he obviously grew to love it, probably because they paid him more money after the first one. Probably. Anytime there's money involved, yeah, suck it up and you'll do. You definitely will. But yeah, anybody else? Producer's Cut was good, says Hilly Billy Man. Yes, you're right. Chris Snyder says, our channel is a House of the Living Dead. Yes, that's right. House of the Living Dead. How come you show up as just Chris Snyder on this, though? I wonder why. I wonder if there's something I do. I'm not an expert when it comes to technology, guys. It took me a while even to figure out how to do this live stream stuff, but and I still haven't figured out how to have a guest on. Apparently you can do it through OBS, though. I'm going to figure that out. Anyways. Yeah, House of the Living Dead. Yes, definitely go check out Chris Snyder's channel. Like and subscribe. He's got an awesome channel. And your channel's really growing from what I'm seeing too, Chris. It looks like it's starting to really take off, so good for you. Good for you. House of the Living Dead. Go check it out. Creeping It Real with Destiny is awesome, by the way. Definitely check that out. Joe from Fangoria the Faithful says, cool beans, Chris. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's okay. I don't have to read every chat, do I? If it's not about Halloween 6, I shouldn't read it, probably. I like the Myers Mask in Part 6. Yeah, I didn't mind it, actually. It's higher on my I might do a ranking of the Halloween masks at some point too. But yeah, I actually don't mind that one. I like Halloween 6 quite a bit. It's got problems, but there's a lot that does perfectly. Yeah, it has a little bit more problems than, I don't know. There's some things it does really well. It's about a 5 out of 10 for me. I'd give this movie about a 5 out of 10. And again, it probably sounds like I'm hating on it with a 5 out of 10. That's it. But again, I rank these things tough. I'm a tough ranker. So 5 out of 10 is actually a good movie to me. It's actually at the point where I can say it's good for me. Just now, I was trying to figure out when I made Destiny the Oh, I see. You're with the House of the Living Dead. I get that. 2 separate accounts. Okay. There you go. So House of the Living Dead is both you guys, and then Chris Snyder is just you. But you do everything on House of the Living Dead now. There you go. I had no idea. Now I know. Brett Man, Good Real. Hey, yeah. There. So you just switched from Good Real Hunting to Brett Man, Good Real. Ha ha ha. Very funny, Brett Man. Very good. I don't know how to do that, but probably have to have a separate. Do you have to have a separate email address? Chris Snyder, the Massacre great. Michael was scary again. Yeah. The lightning and the crazy strobe effects kills were great. A lot there is definitely a lot to like. I don't really care for the whole angle of Michael raped Jamie to. I don't really dig that whole part of it. But that whole Cult of Thorn thing, I don't know. I didn't really dig that. I think that's where it goes down a little bit for me. Yeah, but They kind of really set that up more in Halloween 5, and that's, well, we got to take this somewhere. I don't know. They didn't really, it's what it felt like. They didn't know where to go, so we'll just do this. Anyways. Yeah, that's about all I got to say about that. We're running out of time. I got to get going here. Got to get rushing through this. I'm sorry if I ramble on a little too much, guys. If we go on a little longer tonight, it's not a big deal. We'll try to wrap this up, though, by about 9:15 if we can. If it goes to 9:20 or 9:25, so what? Big deal. After Halloween 6 is the newest one, Halloween 2018. Yeah, but I kind of feel about the same way. I don't know. It's pretty even with Halloween 6 for me. Definitely, in my opinion, the best thing about Halloween 2018 is I really felt like the shape was back. It was back. It really felt like Nick Castle did everything, but we know that he only did a couple shots, but he must have consulted James Jude Courtney a bit, because boy, oh boy, did James Jude Courtney get the moves down so well. Definitely the best incarnation of the shape since the original, hands down. That's my favorite thing about it. Where I have issues with it, and I have talked about it a bit in the past on this show, and that's the humor. Humor did not land for me. Not that I mind a bit of humor, it's just, it really didn't land for me for the most part. It just didn't work. And I'm usually a fan of those guys' work. But, well, yeah, they did Pineapple Express, but I guess the humor was more or less written by Seth Rogen and his Evan Goldberg for that. But still. So, I mean, humor didn't land for me, and the weird twist didn't really work for me either. I didn't get it. I didn't really like it. I know they had to try something different, but it didn't really work for me. Yeah, try something different, but I just didn't feel like that was the right different. What else? Some of the characters didn't really feel much for. A lot of the profanity felt unnecessary for me too. I hate to sound like that guy, that out of touch guy, but is it just me, or like do we feel like we have to have swearing all through? I don't know, guys. Maybe I'm old and out of touch. I'm a 40-year-old guy, but I just feel like it should be peppered in here and there. It doesn't sound like regular talk when there's that much of it. When you got like that 10-year-old kid saying, "Holy fuck," or that mouthing off the babysitter, and I don't know. It just didn't. There was just so many F-bombs, and I get it, but it was just, it felt like we're dropping F-bombs for the sake of F-bombs, and it kind of took me out of the movie a bit. A little bit. That's a smaller gripe, I think, but at the same time, it just, it was just too much for me. It was too much, and I have nothing against swearing. It should feel natural, though, and a lot of it didn't feel natural. I guess that's what I'm saying. And there's storylines in the movie that didn't go anywhere, like the whole boyfriend cheating on her. I didn't. What was the point of that? It felt like they didn't have a story there, so we're gonna write this side story that didn't go anywhere. So yeah, it's also probably about a 5 out of 10 for me, guys. And quite honestly, it would be quite a bit lower if I didn't love James Jude Courtney's performance so as much as I did. I absolutely loved the shape. The look of him, they did a great job on the mask. It was just awesome. Jamie Lee Curtis was good in the movie too. And the score was great too. Those are the positives. The negatives are what I've just mentioned. And again, I should rewatch it again, see if it's going to grow on me a little bit, because I actually haven't really watched it since I saw it in theater when it came out. But I will. I am looking forward to Halloween Kills. I hope I hope I'll like it more than this one. I really do. But again, comedy didn't land. The swearing, just tone it down a bit. That's all. Just tone it down a bit. It just didn't feel natural. And again, a lot of characters I didn't like, a lot of plot lines, the twist, blah, blah, blah. What do you guys feel about it? I know it was popular with a lot of people, though, so check what you guys are saying in the chat. Let's just go to the chat. Let's make sure I'm not missing anything major here. Hilly Billy Man, I thought Halloween 2018 was okay, but hated how they cut away when Michael attacked people. Huh. I actually don't mind that so much. That's one thing I actually don't mind. I don't mind. Yeah. It's again, it's not always about what you see, but what works for me is not going to work for everybody. Chris Snyder. No, that's nothing there. Opening hospital scene was the best part. I agree there, actually. I do agree there. Joe says, only thing I can say if I had to say is that they showed the shape too much, not enough suspense. Had too much unnecessary characters. Other than that, it was great. Yeah, okay. You know what? I can see what you're saying there. And you know what? They showed him too much in the first trailer they showed. I think the first trailer was kind of underwhelming. I couldn't believe how much they actually showed him. Yeah, when you consider that they are making him look not the same. Yeah, I don't know. I would hide that stuff. Like I am hiding Leatherface in my trailers, like his face, for two reasons, mind you, because we don't actually have the actual faces that we're going to use made yet. Although we're getting close on one of them. I'm consulting with my makeup artist here in Canada on one of the masks, and the other ones will be made down in Texas. But she's going to make one of them, and we've been putting a mold together. And so we're getting kind of close on one. But again, it's just, even if I had them done, I still wouldn't want to show them because I want to keep that element of surprise for you guys. I want you guys to see the Leatherface masks for the first time when you see the movie. Because that to me will make it more scary. Just my opinion. They should. But so Joe's got a good point there. Hilly Billy Man, they should have called it Halloween Returns 2, I think. Yeah. What? Chris Snyder says the same thing. Chris also says Halloween 2018 is my second favorite in the franchise. Really? Okay. I know a lot of people liked it. In fact, some people have it as their first. So there you go. I thought it gave fun nods to the original. Yeah, it did. Michelle's right. It did give some fun nods to the original, and didn't feel like it didn't feel like they were forcing that too much either. Too. So sometimes fan service can be a little much sometimes, but I didn't think that one was too much fan service. Yes. Anyways, moving on here because it's already after 9 o'clock. Holy smokes. Got to get to my top 4 still. So next on my list is Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers. This was one of the first ones I saw. I actually saw this one after Halloween 5. I should have seen this one first, and I didn't. Because I actually like this movie a lot more than Halloween 5. This was actually my first time ever finding about Halloween as a whole was when this movie came out in 1988. I had seen the original TV spot. I had never heard of any of the Halloween movies before because I guess Halloween 3 came out in 1982 and I was only 2 then. So I was 8 when Halloween 4 came out. So I can at least remember that. And, it was on TV. The TV spots were everywhere, and it was, he's back. I'm like, who's back? And we saw, and I thought Michael Myers was a pretty freaky looking dude in those TV spots. And you know what? I'm one of those few people that like the mask in Halloween 4. Come at me all you want. I actually dig the mask. I think it is bad false advertising to show the original 78 mask on the poster like that, but I have to say I still do like that mask. Yeah, I think it gets more hate than it should. I think there's way worse masks in the series than that one. But yeah, I understand why people don't like it. It's just, I do. I don't know. There's something kind of creepy about it to me. At least it's got blacked out eyes. I mean, I don't understand why they're making the masks without the blacked out eyes. I mean, I feel like that's an important part of the mask, but yeah, that's just my opinion. Hey, Filthy Dan is in the chat as well. Hey gang, how you doing, man? Sorry I'm late. Well, that's okay. We're going on kind of late tonight. I'm slowly getting through this, and you guys are chatting up a storm too, so it's all good. And the laser reviewer made it too, so thank you guys for tuning in. Halloween 2018 had terrific cinematography, and love how it paid homage to the original's minimalist style. Hey, you know what? You're not wrong. You're not wrong there. I'll give it that. It just fell short in those other areas for me, but it's still, it's still a decent movie. I still can say, okay, it's a good movie. I like it. I can watch it, yeah. But Halloween 4, now we're getting into the movies that I can really say these ones I love, like Halloween 2018 is about a 5 out of 10. Halloween 4 is probably, we're getting up to like 7.5, maybe even 8 out of 10 at this point. Loved Danielle Harris as Jamie Lloyd. Loved Ellie Cornell as Rachel Carruthers. Just terrific dynamic between the two. A lot of great moments, and I do love and again, I'll say it, I love the mask. Love Donald Pleasance returning, even though, I mean, the fact that they survived the explosion, sure, that's a little bit, weak, but if you're gonna, there's no other way you can do it, though. There really, how else can you explain that? If you're gonna bring Donald Pleasance back as Loomis, but again, he was great. I loved the way they did it. Yeah, just great. The kills were great too. Like the kills in this one. You saw more in this one actually for kills than some of the other ones. But not that you necessarily have to see everything. But I like that this one did show a bit of gore, but didn't go over the top. Yeah. So what else can I say about Halloween 4? Yeah, it's probably 7.5, 8 out of 10 for me. I'd give it around there. What would you guys rank Halloween 4? Let's see what you guys are saying in the chat here. Lazy Reviewer says the fourth one is my third favorite one of my favorite films to watch of the month of Halloween. Oh, I see. Okay, I see what you're saying. Hilly Billy Man, did Myers make friends with an old man in part 4? I forget. No, not that I remember. There was that in Halloween 5. There was the man in black. I guess that was supposed to be part of that whole cult of Thorn, whatever thing that they expanded on in Halloween 6. But that's the only thing I can think of that you could be talking about. You give it a 6 out of 10? Yeah, I don't know. I give it about I give it a 7.5 to 8 out of 10. 5 out of 10 only. Oh my goodness. Oh, we got Halloween 4 haters in here. Unless you guys are rating some of the other ones. I don't know. But yeah, 6 out of, I would give it 7.5. Yeah, 7, at least a 7.5 out of 10 for me. Moving along. Gotta kind of hurry up here. Because, oh boy. This one, again, kind of a coin toss between this one and Halloween 4. But this one used to be, if you would have asked me 10 years ago, this would have been number 2 on my list. That's Halloween 2 from 1981. Love it, but the more I watch it, the more I see flaws in it. It's one of those movies. I do love it, and I love that they took it to the hospital. I think that really elevates this movie. But the ending is kind of lackluster. Like Halloween 4 has a great ending. Halloween 3 has a great ending. The original Halloween, they all have these great endings. Those three anyways. But Halloween 2, the ending is kind of, oh, well, I guess it's over. It's one of those kind of endings, It's just, I love a big ending. I just love an ending that says something big, This one didn't really say anything big to me, unless I missed something. Is there something I should interpret from the ending of Halloween 2 that I'm just not? Maybe there is something deeper to that. Maybe you guys know about that I don't. I'm always willing to learn if there is something for me to learn, but it didn't feel like it. It just felt like that's it. We're ending. Michael's dead, and all these people are dead, and Laurie has to live her life, and knowing that she was the sister of a psychopath, and I don't know. Well, let's see what you guys are saying in the chat about this one. Again, it's kind of a coin toss between this one and Halloween 4. But, they're both about 7.5. 7.5, 8 out of 10 for me. But so, I love them both, though. I do love them both, but I do see flaws. I want to be able to connect this one to the original Halloween better than it really does. I feel like they try to, but it really doesn't. When I try to watch the original Halloween and then this one after, that opening scene kills it for me. The opening scene in this one kills it, where Michael's imprint is on the grass, and it's just so cheesy. I'm like, why did they have to do that? Why? To me, that's the worst thing about Halloween 2 is that I wish that didn't happen. I wish Loomis just ran out of the door and just went screaming, Michael, where are you? Something like that, right? And waking up the neighbors, and, instead of seeing this imprint of him on the ground, God, that annoys me. But, it's a small gripe, guys, but I have a hard time believing that these two movies are connected, watching them back to back because of that. Unless I can somehow just skip through that bit and just, set it up so that Halloween 2 takes place, like, I don't know, right after that whole thing. I don't know. What are you guys saying about this in the chat? Oh my goodness. I think Halloween 5 stuff. Pretty positive that was. Oh, you guys are just chatting back. That's okay. You guys can. What do you guys think, though? If you guys love Halloween 2, I do love it. I do really love it, but I used to love it a little bit more than I do now. Yeah. Whereas my next film, I used to hate a lot more than I do now. I think you guys know which one that is. Hey, speaking of which, speaking of the next film we're going to talk about, Michelle Blasky. I'm not going to say anything because she may have told me a little something but I won't spoil it. Thank you for joining, though. Yeah, I will leave it at that. But needless to say, I think Michelle likes the next film as much as I do, and that is Halloween 3. Season of the Witch. Yes, I love this movie now. It had to grow on me. This was the first Halloween movie I had ever seen. But I had always known about Michael Myers, The Shape, and blah, 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 because of Halloween 4, when the TV spots came out when I was 8 years old. And me wanting to see all this Michael Myers stuff and knowing that these movies are about this Michael Myers character, I had already built it up in my head that we're going to watch this Halloween 3 and we're going to find out who Michael Myers is finally and see this badass killer. And because we watched this whole movie and there is no Michael Myers, and we didn't get it at the time. I was 11 years old when I saw Halloween 3 for the first time. And so, yeah, it was Halloween of 1991. I remember it. And but me and my brothers, we sat and watched this. I'm like, oh, there's no Michael Myers in this movie. That sucks. But as I got older, once I got into my 20s, I started to watch this movie and be like, it's actually not bad. This is actually kind of it's not bad. And I've gotten to that point now where I watch it and I'm like, wow, there's some really cool stuff in this movie. I actually really dig watching this movie. I fucking love Halloween 3. It's actually in my top 10 horror films of all time now. I never thought I would be putting Halloween 3 in my top 10 horror films of all time, but I did a ranking a while back of my top 10 horror films, and this was, I don't know, it was probably like number 8 or 7 or 8 or somewhere in there, but yeah, still. Never would have thought, if you asked me 10 years ago, definitely wouldn't have been. But now, just things can grow on you sometimes. And I was too young when I watched it. This film was a little too deep. And that ending, I'm just going to say it. Halloween 3 has the best ending in the franchise. In my opinion, of course, but I'm just going to say that. I think Halloween 3 has the best ending in the franchise. Again, it is opinions, but Halloween 4 and the original Halloween both have spectacular endings as well. Both of those are great, but I give the edge to Halloween 3 when it comes to endings. Yeah. So that's, and I did a ranking on my favorite endings at some point too, I believe. I'll have to, I don't know. You guys can go look for it in the playlist, in the Merlo's Movie Massacre playlist. New chat, we got Jeff Jenkins. Hey, late, but you made it. So what are you guys saying in the chat about Halloween 3? Michelle Bless, I'm so late. Did I miss it? Oh, just in time. Yes, just in time for Halloween 3 you are. Yeah, I love Halloween 3, guys. It's number 2 for me, and geez, I am that guy now that wishes that the Halloween series went totally anthology. I do. I think there's just so many more possibilities. I think the Shape became Michael Myers and should have stayed the Shape, and all these sequels just really made him Michael Myers rather than the Shape, and I think that's yeah. There's still a lot of films in this series I like. It's probably, as a franchise, my most loved franchise, especially in the big three, because I'm really not a big Friday the 13th fan. I'm hit and miss with Nightmare on Elm Street. So Halloween 3 really is, the Halloween franchise. I got at least the first 4 films really do it for me. I love all those first 4 films, and a few others I'm like, oh, okay, it's okay. Brad Heath, hey, the other half of Good Real Hunting is in the chat as well. Jeez, thank you guys for all showing up. Do remember to hit that like and subscribe, right there. It's right there. Yeah, you guys already have. I know you have. I've seen you guys a million times. Mandy Cantone says, it's my favorite horror film, unless I missed something earlier. I don't think I have. So there you heard it from Mandy. Mandy Cantone says Halloween 3 is her favorite horror film. You are talking about Halloween 3, right? Jeff Chang, late but I made it, but want to get technical. Myers in Halloween 3. Yeah, I know. Dick Warlock is one of the best. Yeah, he was one of the robot guy or the android things. Yes. Silver Shamrock Song was creepy. It was. I watched a documentary on Halloween 3 and what's his name, Tommy, the director, blanking on his name all of a sudden, explained how they came up with that song and how they put it together. You saw Michelle. Oh, you saw H3 in theaters. Boy, I didn't. Okay, I was only 2 when it came out, so you must be older than me. I've never met you in person, so I don't know. So that's awesome. Billy Man, I'd rank Halloween 3 in my top. There you go. Damn, now I'm going to have to go back and watch Halloween 3. Yeah, go back and watch it. It's one that if you only saw it as a kid, you got to go back and rewatch it, because the stuff they're talking about in that movie is too deep for kids. It's definitely a deeper film than the other Halloween films. it's stuff kids aren't gonna get, So like I didn't. I was 11 when I saw it, but when I started going back to it in my 20s, I was like, whoa, it's actually pretty good. It's actually I get this stuff now. I didn't then. Feel the same way, except I love Halloween and Friday the 13th. Never could get into Elm Street. Yeah, a lot of I am kind of a weird guy out there on Friday the 13th. It was never my franchise. I like the first one. Don't mind the second one, and after that, I don't know. Never, yeah. The first two Friday the 13th are my favorite, and really only the first one, really. Because I like that mystique. I like the mystique about Pamela, who the killer is, and not finding out till the. That's my kind of film. Yeah. Tommy Lee Wallace. Thank you, Michelle, for. I knew it was Tommy something. He's like they're all good friends. Nick Castle, John Carpenter, Tommy Lee Wallace. I believe they all went to film school together, so they all kind of formed their own thing together. Yeah, pretty awesome, I think. I hope I can form a group like that where we all kind of make movies together. Yeah, that'd be great. Do you like the Hatchet movies, Steve? I think I've only seen one of them. It's been a while. I believe it was Hatchet, anyways. Been a while. If it is the movie I'm thinking of, I did enjoy it, but it's not. It wouldn't be a go-to. So it's definitely something I have to go back and rewatch for sure. But yeah, I'm definitely open to rewatching it for sure. How many Hatchet films are there now? Anyways, I gotta give you guys my number one, but you guys know what it is. You guys know what it is. I mean, it's the OG, man. It's the OG. Of course, it's Halloween. It's Halloween 1978. I wish this was the first Halloween movie I saw. I do wish that. But this would have been the fourth movie in the series that I saw. I saw Halloween 3 first. It was on TV Halloween night 1991, so me and my brothers watched it. Then we rented Halloween 5. Why did we rent Halloween 5? Well, it was the newest one, and that was kind of the thing back there. You got to watch the latest, newest release, and yeah. And then we watched Halloween 4, and then we finally went back to watch the original Halloween. And even at that time, at that age, we all kind of agreed, me and my brothers, this is the best one. This one's great. This one is awesome. Yeah, it's the original. And there's so many things that this movie gets right. Sure, it's not a perfect movie. I have to say, if there's anything that drags the original down, it's probably the acting, and that's even from Jamie Lee Curtis. I'm sorry, guys. I know a lot of people love her, and you know what? She's obviously gotten a lot better. But at that time, she was a newbie in the industry in the industry, and she could tell she wasn't very experienced. And her screams during those scenes near the end just sound very, very forced. So. Her and the other two girls really kind of bring this movie down for me. But again, it really is a small gripe. Their acting wasn't so bad that it makes me want to shut off the film. It's subpar acting. But Donald Pleasance was absolutely amazing in this. Charles Cypress as Lee Brackett was great as well. There's and it was the mood and atmosphere, guys. It was that atmosphere, that the suspense they were able to create with the great shots, great lighting, amazing score. It's awesome. It's a movie you cannot duplicate. Even if you got the best actors and stuff like that, you just couldn't remake this film. And this is better because we got better actors than you had back then. No, you can't. You just can't do it. It's impossible. You can try, but I think it's impossible. So not a perfect film. The acting is the one thing that kind of makes it a little bit worse for me. But at the end of the day, You just can't match that mood and atmosphere. As you know, I watch Dave McRae a lot too, but so you guys are. I don't mean to copy him, but he's so right. He's so right. I'll just say atmosphere. I'll just say that atmosphere in this movie, and it really is the atmosphere, and it's put together with just great cinematography, and that music. That's all I can say. It's yeah. What else can I say? Is it a surprise for me to have Halloween at my number one spot? It shouldn't be. Or any of these other rankings a surprise to you guys? I know like Halloween 3 is you either love it or you hate it, and it's people are kind of mixed on it. I personally love it now, but if you would have asked me 20 years ago, I would have said I hated it. I've grown up. That's all I can say, Anyways, that's my ranking. Let's see what you guys are saying in the chat real quick. Anything, and feel free to guys anytime just ask me questions in the chat, whether it be about the Sawyer Massacre or what I like to put in my coffee in the morning, or whatever. Do I have any pets or do I sleep in the buck? Or am I in the buck right now, below the waist? Ooh, I'm not going to show you. Oh, my goodness. Hey, Nick Cooling just dropped by. Well, you made it at the very end. This is actually, I think this is now my longest stream. Sorry I dragged on a little bit on some of these. I may have done a little bit of ranting in some of the earlier ones. I don't mean to rant, guys. It really is a polarizing series for me, Halloween, because the ones I hate, I really hate. The ones I love, I really love. And then there's the stuff in the middle, It is what it is. But that's my ranking, and I'm sticking to it. And some of those are like you flip a coin and it could be that one instead. But so there's a few of those, but one 4K that looks perfect is the original Pet Cemetery. Oh, they did a 4K transfer. We're talking about 4K stuff all of a sudden. The 4K of Halloween looks pretty good too. Oh, okay, Chris Snyder. I see. Yeah, I don't think you need to 4K the older films, but I see why they do. I'm okay with 4K. It doesn't matter to me. This stream is not shot in 4K, by the way. Although my phone does shoot in 4K, the converter to OBS thing won't, unless I pay like money that I'm too cheap to pay. Sorry, guys. I'm just doing YouTube stuff for fun. I'm not gonna pay services to do YouTube streams. Sorry, I'm just doing it for fun. And if that means I look like the way I look, I'm sorry. I don't even think this standard definition. It's like the lowest possible. So it's not even 10. It's not 1080p. It's not 720. It's like the one lower than 720. Do you guys care? Nobody's complained to me about it, so I'm just. It's better than my webcam. It's better than my webcam. Anything else that we should talk about? You guys are just kind of mostly chatting amongst yourselves. Thank you all for tuning in. March 1st, the Sawyer Massacre Indiegogo #2 releases with our new teaser. Again, we've got a few people doing some trailer reactions. If you are a YouTuber that does trailer reactions, feel free to hit me up and let me know if you want to do a reaction, and then I'll let you see a private link early, just because I like you guys doing reactions, and yeah, why not, right? Anything else I should mention before we go? Just, have fun, have a good weekend. Remember to hit that like and subscribe if you haven't already. We're on our way to 1,000. If we hit 1,000 during our campaign, we're going to do a special perk giveaway from the campaign on this show. You have to be tuned into this show in order to win that perk. I don't know. We might do a trivia. Might do a trivia during the show. That'd be kind of fun. Yeah. Anyways. Thank you all. Thank you all for tuning in. Sorry for going on so long tonight. And it's an hour and a half tonight. It's usually about an hour and 15 minutes is what I usually cut it at. But boy, oh boy, I went an hour and a half. Sorry, guys. Some of these streams go longer. Not mine, but other people's. So it's all good. So we'll call it a day. End it with a bit of my tune, Sequanda Land Part 3. I hope you guys enjoy the tunes.